My portfolio has been hitting all-time highs, even with the latest pullback in the market recently. What I'll do in this video is transparently walk you through my Freetrade and my Vanguard portfolios, walk you through how they're performing, what I've been buying or selling, and my general thoughts on the market. If you're unable to tell, I'm slightly under the weather and suffering from a bad case of the man flu, but still I wanted to get a quick video out there for you guys, so this may be a quicker video than usual. The other thing you may have noticed is Freetrade have updated their website for the better, if I'm honest, because previously you were unable to buy or sell any shares via the website, but now you actually can, and they've made a few format tweaks which I think has majorly improved the look and feel of the website. Jumping into the Freetrade shares ISA, the value of it now sits at £106,743 and is up a nice 6,222 in the past month. Looking at the past year's performance, the portfolio is up by 25%, which is 27,445. And looking at the kind of 5-year or maximum time horizon, the portfolio is up by 37.55%, and that equates to £40,079. The one thing I have noticed as my portfolio grows in size, especially as it grows above 100,000, is small increases in the market can make a big difference. So if the market or my portfolio is up by 6%, that could be £6,000. So I think it really puts the importance on making sure you invest as much as you can early on to give compound interest a chance to really grow your net worth and your overall portfolio sizes. Given the Freetrade website update, luckily I can show you some more information that I couldn't before. So on the left hand side here, we've got the breakdown of my portfolio. So at the minute, I'm currently invested 82.2% in stocks. I do have a large cash position now, so that's 15.1%. And I talk about my thinking around that. And I've got 2.7% in REITs, which will probably cover the SL Green Realty position and Persimmon. And I've got no bonds or no commodities in this portfolio. Taking a look at the sector breakdown, tech is 53.9%. That probably is because of my large position in Palantir. Cash is again 15.1%. Finance is 8.7%. That'll probably cover stocks like PayPal and SoFi. Other stocks 6.6%. Travel 6.6%. And some of these other ones are much smaller, as you can see there. Taking a quick look down at the positions, Palantir is 46.5%, which is quite a large portion of this portfolio. But if you've been looking at my Road to Retirement series, and I've created a new video on that recently, this ISA is just one small part of my overall net worth. For example, I have a very large pension, and that is mostly all world index funds. So yes, it is a large position, but I have high conviction in this stock. I'm up over 100% on it, and it's a stock I'm willing to hold for 10, 20 years, and I believe it's going to outperform the market. Cash again is 15.1%. The All World Index Fund is 6.6%. Rocket Lab is 4.7%. And then you've got some of the other smaller positions, but we'll look through all these in a bit more detail. Taking a look at the recent activity for the past month, the first thing I did is sell some SL Green Realty. The reason I did that is because it's had a massive run up, so it was overall up by 120%, and I've just taken £1,000 off, so just taken some money off the table because at the end of the day, profit is profit. I do top up my ISA with £1,666 every single month, whether I invest that or not, and that's because I plan to max out the £20,000 limit of this Freetrade shares ISA and plan to for the foreseeable future. I have bought 12 shares of Carnival, so that's £149 worth. So I've been slowly buying into this position every single month. It's a position I think is going to potentially increase in the next couple of years. It does have a lot of debt on the balance sheet, but as interest rates get lower, I think that's going to work in this company's favor. But, again, with any individual stock, it is a risk, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. I did receive a dividend from Disney, and that was £4.18, which is quite nice. I have sold a couple of stocks. So first up, Apple and AMD. So I totally sold out those positions. To be fair, these were, quite small positions in my portfolio, so the plan is sell these and just consolidate into the All World Index Fund instead. I did sell 135 shares of Palantir, and the reason for this is the valuation was quite stretched. So it reached, over $29, which in my view was, getting really overpriced and overstretched. So I just took a small amount of the overall position off the table. It doesn't mean I'm not bullish on the company. Actually, I'm planning to buy back in when or if the price drops even lower. I bought another 11 shares of Carnival on the 15th of July. I get that monthly dividend from Essogram Realty, so that was £12.77. And just some interest I get from Freetrade for just keeping some cash on within the account, and that was £12.33. And that offsets my monthly payments to Freetrade. Taking a deeper look at some of these positions, let's start off with Palantir. So obviously it's my biggest holding at 49,606. It's up by a healthy 142%. It has been performing quite well. So it did peak around the $29 range. And that's kind of when I sold that £3,000, sort of just taking some money off the table. And after that, it did have a bit of a pullback. My plan is to buy in next week depending on the price, because I do want to buy in before the earnings, which is on the 5th of August. So what are my thoughts on the Palantir earnings? So I think they're going to beat all expectations, or I don't think they're going to smash it out the park. I think the boot camps are really going to help the customer count, which is a key metric I look at. And depending on the price going in, it could go up, it could go down. Again, no one knows where their stock's going to go. But for me, I continue just to add in when I think the price is good, because this for me is a long-term hold. I think it's going to have very steady growth for the next 10, 20 years. And yeah, it's going to continue to be the biggest position in my portfolio. Next up, we have the FTSE All World ETF, and that's up 23.71%. It's had a tiny bit of a pullback in the past week, and I plan to actually add to this because I've sold some of my other smaller positions, which, they were so small, they were quite insignificant. So it just makes sense to consolidate into the FTSE All World ETF. Rocket Lab has been holding up quite well in the past month, so it's still up 30%. It's a shame because I wanted to increase my position. So if it does have a pullback, I'll buy more shares. If not, I'm happy with the size of this position. I'm glad I held on to Truist because regional banks have been performing quite well in the past month. So that stock is now up 43%. Alphabet have had a little bit of a pullback in the past month, so that's up 27%. So far earnings are soon. That's basically been trading flat for a little while. So yeah, I'm hoping they absolutely smash as they normally do, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have a massive, jump up in the price. But what normally follows is a pullback. But long term, I'm still holding on to this company. I'm still bullish on it long term. SR Green Realty is one I mentioned I sold a little bit of. It's still performing quite well, gives me a monthly dividend, and I wouldn't be surprised it's a stock I hold for life. A stock that's been pretty much like a dead fish for the past couple of months is PayPal. So it is down, minus 17% in my portfolio. They do have a lot of cash on the balance sheet. They've got a new CEO, so I'm hoping they do a lot of share buybacks and have opportunities for growth. So it's, I'm holding on to it for, next couple of years, just seeing how the thesis plays out. But I'm still holding hope for little PayPal. Meta's up by 132%. Carnival, that position now sits at £2,038. Hershey's been buying shares here and there, but smaller position at 1,502. And Microsoft still holding up there with a plus 53.45% gain. And just a quick look at some of my smaller positions. So Tesla's up 1.9%, Dutch Bros up 35%, Enphase Energy has had a little of a boost in the past month, so that's up 6.22%, DraftKings still well over 100% gain on that. Disney, that's a potential position I'm looking to sell, and again, consolidate into the FTSE All World ETF because it is such a small position. Persimmon, that's had a nice gain, so that's up now 42%. And lastly, Everest Steel, but obviously that's kind of a stock I can't sell or buy because it's a Russian stock. So that concludes the Freetrade Stocks and Shares ISA. I do have around £16,000 worth of cash on the sidelines, so I'm planning to make some fairly big moves in the next couple of weeks. I like to stay mainly invested in the market, although if things are trading quite richly, I'm not afraid to sell some positions and wait for better opportunities. Again, I think for most people, that's probably not an approach you should take, not financial advice. Index funds, staying invested in the market is probably the best way to go, but this is a bit of fun for me, and I like selling and buying stuff, and it's worked out for me so far. Taking a look at the general investment account, the value of this sits at £17,763, and it's actually down by 7.65% in the past month, which equates to £1,359. Taking a look at the performance for the past year, it is up by 16.53%, and over a 5-year time period, or since the inception of this account, it's up by 30.76%, which is 5,463. Taking a look at the positions, Meta has had a bit of a pullback. This was over, plus 200%, but still performing quite well. So that's at £5,907. Alphabet sits at 4,301 and is up 43%. Amazon is doing quite well actually, so that's at 2,519 and is up 67.85%. Enphase Energy is in the red by 7.77%. You've got Microsoft, which is up by 56. Intel, that's now down 12%, so that's not performing very well. JP Morgan up 70%, so not too bad. Starbucks, another one that's taken a bit of a hit. I think there's an impact with China sales, so that's down 9.56%. And lastly, Neo, it's still not doing very well in this portfolio. I am tempted to sell it. Maybe I should. Let me know down in the comment section below. But that is down 73.06%. I've not added any money to this account or bought or sold any shares. And we can take a look down here. I'm pretty much all invested. I do get the dividends every so often from some of the big tech stocks. But yeah, this account is a taxable account because it's a GIA. So yeah, this is going to sit there and hopefully compound over time. If I do need to pull some money out to kind of maximize my stocks and shares ISA, I will do so. Until then, I'll just keep you updated on how it's performing. Last but not least is the Vanguard general account. This again is a taxable account. It's mainly invested in the S&P 500. The overall value of this account is £16,180 and actually is up by 3,333. I do have a little bit of cash. I need to invest that back into the S&P 500. I'm using VUSA, the distributing fund, just so it's easy to work out how many dividends I get, which makes it easier for when I fill out my self-assessment at the end of the year. That was the July portfolio update, so I'll catch you in the next month's video.